TGIT, thank God it's Thursday. When you think excitement, talk excitement, act out excited, you are bound to become an excited person. And it's Thursday, and I'm always excited when it's Thursday. Today is going to be interesting. The show is going to be jam-packed, and the information that will be put here are a lot. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to Entertainment Review on Metro Television. Within the next hour is Total Entertainment and more. My name is Nanaya Tanwa Boache, and I'm doing this with Helen. Let me be biased and introduce the lady first. Helen Anyaweja, aka Helen K.
Right.
And Desmond Okreko dancer. Desi, the star boy, Fade.
Hey, T, I understand why you are on there.
On a different level,
Today's your day, and of course,
Yes.
today is one of her favorite people who is in the studio right now. And I'm gonna leave her to do the introduction of that favorite person.
You will do it. I will leave it.
in the studio. Well, you're welcome to the show as always. In the next 1 hour, total entertainment for you. And trust me, today's one, you don't want to miss it because we've got a guest who will be speaking to me in a bit, and then we get to touch on a number of things. That includes record labels.
Yeah.
And, for the past few hours or 24 hours, it's been about Kwame Eugene leaving legs. Some say he's not leaving. Some say he's joining back. A lot of confusion on there. So we'll be speaking to an expert in some of these things who'll give us some explanations to that. And so make sure they do not move on in. So let's just head straight into our conversation today. And this man, he's been here before. He's been on the table of life before, but he's back here because he's dropped an album that is doing amazingly well. A name of a woman and the sun.
Yes.
So, Aisha's son. I hope that is what really the album means. And then, for the past month or so, he was in the news for a lot of things.
Yeah.
And he shot a video. If you have ever shot a video, that's about $60,000. Is it dollars or cedis, whichever way he will explain to us. But ladies and gentlemen, our guest this afternoon is KIRANI Ayat. Nabasu Guda. Okay, Nabasu Guda.
Nabasu Guda.
Nabasu. Oh yeah, he explained the other time. I forgot.
Yeah, I for charge you right now.
Yeah.
Nabasu Guda. Guda is money.
Guda is one.
Hey,
brah. We feel it.
That one quite a mimic.
Guda is one.
One.
So I was saying, I'm giving everyone, everyone they get them a share.
Okay.
I'll
The last time you were here, you were talking about your preparation for this particular album.
Yeah.
From that time till the time you released it, how were you feeling? What was going through your mind when you were putting all of that together?
Man, it was a labor of love, and I had to put pretty much everything I had into it because I had to do it twice. So imagine giving birth twice. Okay. Well, no, don't imagine. Imagine giving birth twice at the same time, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I had the first album done, and then pandemic happened. And during that period, I just felt like this album I could do much better. So I scrapped the initial Aisha Sun album to re-record everything again. So the process was really educative for me, and it was a very self-centered experience pretty much because I had to delve into my inner being to figure out who Ayat is. What does he stand for? What would be his legacy? You understand? What's his message? What's his sound sonically? So I had to take several steps back actually, go inwards and figure out all these answers so I can present what Aisha Sun is right now, which is my debut album. So it was a lot of hard work pretty much, a lot of introspection and all of that, but the end result was to me a beautiful debut album. That's what the end result has been. Yep.
Aisha's son.
Yep.
Is it really what I said, that Aisha name of a woman and the son?
Yeah, because a lot of people, when they hear Aisha's son, they automatically think it's Aisha, obviously the name, and then son as in a male child.
Okay.
But it's more as in son as the solar, the actual son, yeah. And the reason for that is Aisha, my mother, that's her name. And then the sun it signifies to me, or to a lot of people, new beginnings. It signifies life. It signifies energy. It signifies hope. Our whole planet Earth won't even exist without the sun, So one time I was having a conversation with my mother, and she told me she's proud of me. And in that
that's
moment,
nice.
I was like, oh, like I did give this lady hope. I did give this lady life. Like,
Yeah.
this is my selfish self saying all this to myself. But what she was saying was she's really proud of the man I'm becoming and everything I have achieved. I was like, you know what? I'm blessed to have you as my mother, and I'm going to name my album Aisha's Son, but I'm not going to make it as the male child. I'm already your first male child and your only male child, but I'm going to make it that the son, because I give Aisha life, I give Aisha hope, I give Aisha something to live for, So that's the reason behind Aisha's Son instead of Aisha's,
Son,
male
the son.
child.
Big shout out to mommy.
The sun is shining.
Yeah, the sun is shining.
Exactly,
When
really
we're starting-
shining.
When we're starting, was
Yeah.
she supportive?
No, that's why I decided to be like,
okay.
I'm going to dedicate this to you to be like, also, I told you so. Like,
Yes.
but she's like a huge fan right now, and I'm happy she is, because really your parents are your number one supporters, and when they give you their blessing, then Charlie, it's nothing else stopping you.
True.
So officially, this is your first album.
First major debut album, yeah.
Okay, so how easy was it bringing everything together? You have how many songs on the album?
10 songs.
10 songs. How easy was it coming?
It wasn't
this
easy, to be honest, because the first album was easy. I had an initial album done.
That you said you scrapped,
Yep,
right?
already in 2019, done already. That was easy to make.
Okay.
But then this was difficult. But then I had to reinvent myself with this one. I had to figure out what my sound is. I remember earlier you were saying you love Dunia.
Yeah.
So it's like there's this distinct feeling to it sonically that when you
Yeah.
hear the sound, it's not like any other person's sound.
True.
Okay, yeah,
You
it's
hear it
unique.
and exactly, it's very personal. It's like, oh, that's Ayat. Like if you follow music, the minute my beat comes on, you'll be like,
Yeah.
that's Ayat.
That's Ayat
And that's what I wanted to do. And achieving that was difficult because I had to figure out what is Ayat's sound.
Yeah.
So we had to create something from scratch.
And
I would
find yourself in there. in your
Exactly.
music.
So working with the producers, working with all the featured artists, it was really reinventing myself and having a sound that the minute you hear it, you're like, okay, this is something that's Ayat will do. Or if you hear any other person doing it, you'll be like, oh, he's trying to do that Ayat thing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I needed a sound that I could own. So it was really challenging putting it together, to be honest. So this album took a while to make. The first album, it was good, but it was sort of what is mainstream right now. It was Afrobeat, it was trap, but this has like a uniqueness to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You understand? So it took a lot more to create this album.
Yeah. It has a blend of, if it's my ear though, it has a blend of sort of Hausa instrumentals, like Western style, hip hop,
Yeah.
pop, R&B, and
It's true. Though
Yeah,
it was, it
That's
was
what I
very,
hear.
it was very intentional because people, we don't really like change, and we're kind of when our ears hard. We like what we like.
Yeah.
So in order to like ease the people into it, I wanted to merge what is already familiar with what is new, so that it's like, oh, this instrument it's different, it's
Yeah.
unique, but also this drum sounds like hip hop or sounds like R&B, So there's some familiarity in there,
Yeah.
but also there's that uniqueness in
Yeah.
there. So it was a fusion.
True.
Yeah, bringing both worlds together. Yeah.
But you're also a producer, right?
Yeah, I sometimes, but I feel like for this album, I just played more of a behind the scene role, just to
Because I
like.
wanted to know if you were able to produce any of the songs, at least even one.
What I did was some of the songs I guided the producer, so I can literally play the sound that I want with my mouth. Like I want this part to sound like this, and then they put it together.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that was what I was doing because I trusted every producer I worked with on this project. So I wanted them to have the freedom to do what I wanted it to be like a collaboration instead of It had to be a collaboration. So I'd be like, okay, I hear this sound and I play with my mouth. They'll be like, okay, this sound will sound better, or this instrument will sound better, or this percussion, So that's how we did it.
I was going to
That's
ask
fine.
about this production or the producer stuff.
Yeah.
How intentional was it to get people? I mean, we're talking about Nova
Yeah.
and some others who are on the album, So
Yeah.
who produced a couple of songs of the album, to get people like that, because with the kind of sound that you're talking about, you cannot just get into any studio with any producer and say,
Yeah.
Azim and Bibi, and they are doing kush, kush, kush. It has to be. I see your music
Yeah.
as not the usual.
No, right?
Yeah.
So it has to be more emotional. It has to be cycle? Like both of you need to get into some space that you do that. Was that really how it happened?
It was. And fortunately for me, Keso has been my long-time collaborator, one of my longest, to be honest. Nova, too, I've known for a while now. I think the only person I didn't have like a really long relationship on the project, who produced on the project, was Selassie. He's the guy who produced the first song, the intro on the album. But even he, like we've known each other for about a year. But everybody else, all the producers, I've known them for more than 2 years. And me, there's a specific people that gravitate to me.
Okay.
Even in terms of producers, it's people who want to push the envelope. It's people who want to try new things, and they know Ayat would be open to trying new things. You understand? So when I reached out to these producers about being on the album, they were totally open to it because they've always wanted to do something fresh, something new. So I feel like that part was one of the easy parts, getting them to agree to work on the album.
Okay.
The challenge was figuring out how the sound would be like. But when the minute I put it, like, let's do it, But we figuring out the sound was where the challenge was. But yes, you're right. It was very intentional picking the people that would work on it.
Great. Now to the features. Take us, how many people did you feature on the album?
3.
3.
Yeah.
Tell us why you picked them for each of the songs that you have on there.
I feel like the album to me was also very personal.
Okay.
So I didn't want to dilute it with a bunch of features,
features.
I wanted it to be like, because I was reinventing myself. It was me bringing a new sound to be like, this is my sound and I own it. And if I put a bunch of features on it, it's just going to dilute that process. Yeah. So I wanted to keep the features on the minimal. I had to choose Walasi because, Charlie, why not? He's one of the best we have out here. Yeah. And there's this conversation whenever there's like potential Grammy winners for Ghana. They're like, Ayat, Walasi, AI, I can't, it's specific names. Mm-hmm. And we are both fans of each other. So when the opportunity came, he was, especially for that song, Fadana, I was like, no, the only person I need on this is Walasi. Because even the instrumentals has this sort of airway feel to it. You can almost dance Agbaja to it. So I was like, Walasi has to be on it. And when I reached out to him, he was so open. It was even in the pandemic, during the lockdown. He found time. He found time to come to my place so that we would record it and everything. It was really dope. And the other feature was Morel. He's one of the biggest artists in Nigeria. He's a Hausa artist, well-decorated artist. Has song with MI, Ice Prince, like really, really top guy over there. And for him, when I started rapping in Hausa, he be OG. He's already doing that. So when Guda came out, he saw the video and he reached out to me like, yo, I've seen your video and I love what you do. And to me, that was like somebody equivalent to like Jay-Z telling me they've seen my work and they love it because I've already known you, you know. So he reached out to me even first to be like, he's seen my video, he loves it, and he wants to work with me. So the first song we did for Morel we did 2 songs, and it was both for him, and one even ended up on his album. So when I was making my album and I did Dunia, produced by K, so I was like, yo, I need you on this song. He listened to the song, he was like, yo, I love it, and I'm going to do it, but please make sure it's on the album, because sometimes artists will do songs. And I'm like, no, it will definitely be in the album, trust me. So that's how that one came about. And the last feature is Sarkodie. And he is also one of the, I mean, if you're about to list his accolades, the show has to be.
We all know.
The show has to go another 3-4 hours.
Yes.
But he's one of the people that opened up to me earlier on in my career. So, yeah, like, I remember way back 2016, he was tweeting about this song I did with Kid Black. You know, he was tweeting it multiple times. And that time even, I was like, wow, Sarkodie is tweeting about us, you know. So, he's been, like, a supporter since, to be honest, since I came out in 2016. So, when I was getting ready to make the album, I reached out to him like, hey, I have this song, and I would love for you to be on. It's actually one of the like oldest song on the album, to be honest. And then he was like, yeah, just gave me an email, sent it to him. And about 3 days later, he's like, hey, check your email. I was in my area somewhere in Medina, heard the verse, I started screaming, yo, this man is speaking Hausa or in the verse.
Yeah,
like,
I saw that.
Yeah. You know, and that made me love that song very much because it shows that he really wanted to do it for him to be, because everyone keeps asking me, are you the one who taught him out the house? I'm like, no. He figured wherever I go learn for, he learned for just so you understand. And that really made me appreciate him because he did it. Like, you know, he even mentioned the song title, you know, all of that in his verse. So yeah, Charlie, shouts to the big homie Sarkodie. So that was it.
Nice. So tonight you're having something for your fans. After 1 month of Aisha's son being out, your fans listening to it, you have decided to have something for us.
Yep.
For us, when I mean. Tell us about it.
So it's KIRANI AYAT live at the warehouse, and that's Ali Bar, Jamestown Coffee. Yeah, so the good folks at Ali Bar, they reached out that we, you know, put on a show, and I was like, it's perfect timing because the album is just 1 month old and I'm celebrating and all of that. So this really makes sense. So we're putting on a live concert. I'm going through all the songs on the album. I have, you know, special guests also coming. So maybe you don't know, one or two of the artists featured on the album I passed through. So
I know the first one.
7 p.m. tonight, you come to the Ali Bar. It's just 80 CDs.
True.
And we're giving even free gummy shots at the entrance. So come, let's get lit and let's enjoy great music.
It's a little things this evening. If you just tune in and to make sure we here on Metro Television, KIRANI AYAT is our guest this afternoon. We're talking about his album, Aisha's Son. And of course, we'll let him, but I must say, and the ladies, you know, that his sense of fashion.
It's top notch.
It's super.
It's always on point.
I'm not admiring his dress because mine is better.
No, it's always on point. Simple.
But how important it is, do you take fashion to complement the music that you do?
I used to be like into street style and like street fashion, streetwear a lot when I came into the game back in 2016. It was mostly jeans and like Supreme shirts, you know, like pretty much streetwear.
Yeah.
But with reinventing myself and, you know, the new direction I wanted to go with my sound and all of that, I realized that fashion style wouldn't suit what I'm doing. So since my music is growing and my sound is evolving, me as a person and my fashion style and sense has to also evolve. So luckily I had David Nichols say, you know, he advised that, hey, I think you should change your style and all of that, and shouts to him. So I think it's one of the best things, you know, I did for myself, just evolving and growing up, you know. So I've been like really taking it seriously as of late. And I must say, like you said, anywhere I go, they're like,
you're making a statement. Fashion statement.
So I think it's something that's also part of the Ayat brand right now. So all the fashion people, if you want to make an art, I say, link Ayat, give me.
Simple.
It could be a very good thing. Yeah. So I mean, this album, what's the plan? We're talking about the fact that Hausa is not just in Ghana, or not just spoken in Ghana, across several other countries in the West African sub-region. So what's the plan really for this album?
The plan is to me, I mean, last time when I was here, I said I wanted to be a touring artist. So the plan is for me to reach as much music lovers as possible and be able to tour. And obviously the language thing, it comes up. I don't really agree, but it comes up. So I'm trying to make music that people connect to on a higher level, to be honest. So it's like, even if you don't understand it, you feel it. And that's really it. Once you feel the music, it moves you. And once it's moving, then you love it. Like, just understanding it is bonus, you know? So that has been my goal, really. And it's been doing a lot well in the Hausa-speaking countries. I'm not even going to lie. I have a lot of fans in Nigeria reaching out to me. A lot of fans in Niger reaching out to me. And that's been great. But then I've also had people messaging me that I don't understand zero. But I really love it and I really connect to it. And to be honest with you, I appreciate that a bit more. Because that tells me I've done a good job. You know, so the goal is to just spread it and let the wings of Aisha's son or the rays of Aisha's son touch everybody.
Touch everybody.
I'm going to do translations next time.
Let the rays.
I think there's no need for translation.
Right. With good music, you don't even need to understand.
It hits you in the right direction.
I understand, but maybe
it does. But you know, he's also right. I feel like people just get a little bit more appreciative when they know what it means. Because once they love it, they're trying to be like, okay, now I need to know what it means. What if it's telling me my head is big and I'm here dancing, you know? But yeah, so what I did with that was with the YouTube videos, I'm putting, YouTube gives you the ability to add subtitles.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've been putting subtitles to all the songs that's on YouTube right now. So you just go on YouTube. I mean, that's the only service that offers that. So if you're watching any video of my videos on YouTube,
that has it.
Yep, the subtitles are there, so you can get at least a better understanding of what I'm saying.
Of what he's saying.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you know what? Since Ayat is here, see, Ultra music video, $60,000 or cities. Dollars or cities?
USD, please.
USD dollars.
We're 40 Ghana city.
I did this here.
I mean, this man a couple of months back was emotional, you know, talking about the things that he had gone through, being a cleaner at a yoga. See, that part there, my dreams are
he was really saying how things were at that time.
Yeah, true. But I was
to get the work done.
Yeah. I am just trying to fit in the shows like yoga. They do that too.
You can't give it.
And hot yoga too. Hot yoga, it be different from the regular yoga. The hot yoga, the studios are heated. So it's a lot more intense. And as a worker there, you get free classes.
Yes.
So one day, at that time, I feel say, maybe at the gym, I get muscles. I feel do this, and this will be easy.
Okay.
So they were like, oh, you should come to the class. Come to the class. You get free classes, whatever. One time, bro. Come see Macho Man. I was dying in the studio. Yeah, so since that day, I was like, I'm not going to underestimate yoga or Italy now.
Like that.
Yeah, but it was the hustle back then,
Where
Charlie.
did you see the tweet first? Where were you when you saw the tweet about the whole thing?
So it's...
Did you see it by yourself or someone told you?
Oh, someone told me.
Okay.
Someone told me. So it was a week later after the release of my debut album. Tuesday, I was home. Like literally a week later, I was home. And one of this guy's a friend of mine and also a producer. I've worked with him before. He messaged me that, hey, have you seen this? And I was like, no, I've not seen it. They were like, check it out. So I checked it out and I was like, oh, okay. I see my videos in there. And he was like, yeah, your video is in there. That's why I was asking you if you've seen it. Did you get a check for this? And I was like, no. It's like, so you didn't even, meaning if you didn't get a check for it, then that means nobody reached out to you for this. I was like, nobody. So I was like, yeah, let me just reach out to the director and see if he knows about it. He said he has no clue about it. And I was like, okay, then I'm going to tweet about this thing, you know. And yep, it turned into what it turned into.
There's a lot of things on Twitter especially. Yeah. You had said earlier that when you contacted them to even use this as a way to promote the North tourism too, they said no to you?
I didn't get a response back.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't get a response back.
So you didn't get a response back.
Yeah.
And then
how did you feel that everybody was trying to say that? In fact, everybody in the creative space was like, Charlie, Ayat, you've got to pay Ayat.
Yeah.
Like, how did you feel that whole support?
It was really humbling to know that there's people in this space that actually want the right thing to be done.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was also a cry from the creative community because for far too long, people's rights and intellectual properties have been infringed upon. You understand? And it seems as if it's an okay thing. Sometimes there's so much wrong that happens in this country and we're like, hey, you're normal. And you're like, any sane person will look at this and be like, no, it's not normal. What do you mean, you're normal? You know, it happens a lot. Like, we are so late.
Yeah.
You know, Ghanaians don't have any sense of urgency. So we go to events late. Today, don't come to my events late too. So, like, people will come to events late and they'll be like, you're normal.
Because they think you also start late.
You understand?
No, they don't start on time.
Charlie, my album release, let them tell you, the release party, I was like, I'm starting on time. The people who came late, they came, they're like, we are done. I said, yes, we are done. Like, you know,
Learn their
because I
lessons.
don't get why we do that. But there's so much things that's not right, and then Ghanaians will be like, hey, yeah, normal, but no, it's not normal.
Yeah.
You understand? So I feel like a lot of people, and it did bring out a lot of other people in the space whose intellectual property has been infringed upon and used without their consent, and that's why they were, like, the rallying cry was really, really loud, because people felt that you know, this is something that needs to be not to happen, at least on this level.
True.
You know, so that's why I felt like the support really came in the way it came in.
Did
Yeah.
the NFB contact you, the National Folklore Board?
Nope.
They didn't contact
No,
you.
no, no.
But the use of symbols, expressions,
That-
Ghanaian symbols.
No, that was a gaffe, to be honest. So I don't think. Yeah, I think they realized it was, you know, it was a gaffe. So
Yeah.
no, yeah.
But now you know if you have to use any of the expressions, any of the symbols, and it's going to be beneficial to you, you have to come and seek for a license.
it don't
first.
work like that.
It wouldn't work like
No,
that.
no,
It don't work. It wouldn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that.
But they are
But
saying
they
that,
had a board.
Yeah, but that if you're going to go with that, then literally, no one is even allowed to speak Chi or any Ghanaian language for that matter. No one is even allowed to wear kente. No one is even allowed to draw a Dinkra signboard.
But they are saying if it's beneficial to the person using it, if it's for education purpose, if it's to enlighten people, then nothing.
Literally, me being an artist makes me an ambassador of Ghana and Ghanaian culture.
Okay,
So literally, being a Ghanaian also, and literally being from the north, it makes zero sense for someone in Accra to come and tell me that I need permission from them
and I think
to
their
represent
point was
where I'm
simple,
coming
that,
from.
You know, if
I
you are
think
making
this-
money out of it, let's say you even post your video on YouTube or anywhere it's selling, so far as you're making money out of it, then you should be able to consult them and make some
But that's why
payments.
he's
was
saying
their
that
point.
he's even an embodiment of.
No, but they are
promoting
saying
Ghana.
that you are not only promoting, you're making money as well. So,
But he's also he said he's advertised. I think that is the point Ayat's lawyer
Right.
or his people
Me
used on
too.
them,
Uh-huh.
and everything has been
Really?
settled.
There's-
Am I lying?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
right now-
that's what I'm saying. For that, it's literally you can probably say that to an entity or person who's not Ghanaian,
Okay.
because even language falls under folklore. You get what I mean?
Right.
So
Yeah.
then shouldn't we speak our own language again?
Right.
You know, it's a huge like gap from their end. I don't
There
think
were lots of
that's
things on social
yeah.
media. I want you to clear them quickly. You're saying you were being too difficult in dealing with them. Was it true?
no. I wasn't being difficult. I
What were
was
you? What really did you want from the tourism authority?
for the fair compensation to be done. You know,
How
that's
much?
all. Oh, you know what I mean? To be
I know I have to mention it, but it was a very satisfying one.
Yeah, that's it.
You
I
are now
wanted it
being
to be fair.
appreciated.
Yeah,
Thank you.
So you
I
take them
wanted-
already?
I wanted it
Yes.
to be fair.
You've taken.
No, I'm
them
just
on.
asking. Like you take them already?
Oh yeah, I've taken
Yes.
it.
oh wow.
Everything
Yeah.
has been
You see,
sorted out.
That's why I was saying that I posted the tweet yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's when we like settled it. So we'll put out a press statement
Okay.
on, you know, all the details that needs to be made public.
Okay.
Yeah. But we've definitely reached an agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, from moving forward, if anyone wants to use Guda, they have to come and seek.
Or any other creative's work, to be honest. So
Yeah.
long as you're using it on a commercial, because there's fair use, but so
Yes,
long as you're
yes.
using it on a commercial level, which what the Visit Ghana campaign was, because it's literally, we made billions in 2
Yours
years
was
ago.
actually selling Ghana to the world.
Pretty
In
much.
the video, from start to finish,
You know.
it was selling Ghana.
So-
So if you want to sell Ghana by using Guda Ayat's property, just see Ayat.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, that's
I mean-
what I was just smiling because I'm thinking maybe you say I had to be an ambassador for Visit Ghana.
Yo!
I mean, like I said, I'm already a music ambassador
But they didn't talk about
for
that.
Ghana. Details never ube hu.
Yo!
Then we have wait for the details.
I don't
And of course, Fizz ODG was in there the whole lot.
Yeah.
Charlie.
Yeah. But I think I just feel like moving forward, artists and intellectual property and copyright and all these things need to be respected, because we are so important to this economy. We are super important. Just think about the video, for instance. It had the president's voiceover on there, and it was used to invite people to Ghana. Do you think without artist work we could have done that?
No.
You get what I mean?
Right.
So it's so important that people's work, especially creatives, is respected and given the necessary support it needs. Let's not be like, say, wait there, you get what? Don't try to belittle or downplay what we do. It's really important for culture and for economy. So
you should respect your work.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up. I had 30 seconds. How did you feel when people were saying, ask David Nichols, the authority is saying that there was an agency. Someone said that someone in your team leaked the thing. A whole lot of that. How did you feel? Were you making calls to all of that?
No. I wasn't making calls because on my end, to be honest, I trust the people I worked with on this project, and if they say they've not done it, I 100% believe that they didn't do it. And even moving forward, I feel the agency also put out a statement that no, that's not how it happened. They didn't give
that statement was something else.
Yeah, so I don't. Yeah, I wasn't feeling any type of way, to be honest. Yeah.
All right, so thank you so much. So that was Aisha's Son. He's out with Aisha's Son. Go check it out. 10-track album featuring Sarkodie Morel and Walansi on there. It's on all digital platforms. Let's support. Let's push him. Me, I'm looking forward to VGMA or one of the awards scheme next year. For two things, his music and his fashion on the red carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, Kirani Ayat.
And
thank
tonight,
you so much.
You should come out. Go and
support
go and
him.
listen to him. It's 80 Ghana cedis. You have to pay. Now there's no free lunch. Alibar, 7 p.m. Guys, everyone should go. Ayat, thanks for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's your home.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Always welcome to the table of life.
Thank you guys.
So we're going to take a break.
Had the last supper.